Welcome back to Six Pack Sports Talk. I'm one of the hosts, Mike Rob. We got my boy Jason in the chat. We got my boy BDT with us today. We talking NBA basketball. To start us off, something crazy happened. Everybody saw it. You didn't see it. You heard about it. Miami Heat player, power forward Bam Adebayo scored 83. Second highest scoring game of all time. I mean, 83 is 83. I have mixed feelings about it. So we got a Heat fan. I'm a Heat fan. I'm a Grizzlies fan. So I don't know how I feel about it, but how are you feeling, Ethan? Let's go to you because I
want to hear how you feel first.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything like too crazy before I hear.
Rile him up.
All right.
Right.
First off, Will, Bam, Kobe. I'm just saying, man. But no, honestly, I got a couple of stats. Obviously, shooting wise, was not the most efficient. At the end of it, it did become very much let's get this record, which I don't blame them. The Wizards were they're just so not like competitive. They were triple teaming only at the end, and I don't understand why they're triple teaming, by the way. But they were just letting Bam get his until he had like 70, and then they were that's when they overcommitted, and they were legitimately hacking him. So I'm
till Bam got to 77.
It's like,
and then
the Wizards are just pathetic. They were just like, oh, now we need to stop them. So I don't blame Bam for going for it. I'm not going to act like it was the most like appealing basketball to watch. It definitely was not. I think he set the record, 36 free throws, makes 43 attempts. So, I mean, he got to the line a lot. But the fact of the matter is, at least 80 to 85% of them were legitimate fouls. Like, the Wizards were hacking the hell out of them.
Yeah, they were hacking the shit out of them.
Oh, 100%. I mean, watching the beginning of the game, because I went to bed during it, because, I was working early. But seeing him score 31 in the first quarter, I was like, in my head, I was like, he might score 60. Bam ain't a super score. Like, his career high before this was 41 or 43.
43, I believe.
So,
43.
Yeah, so he's not like us. But, him scoring 30, NBA player scores 31 in the first quarter against the Wizards or not. That's insane. Scoring 31 in the first quarter. So, I don't blame him for going for it. He had 70 after 3. So, he had 31 in the first quarter. So, he was hot, bro. And, yeah, all the free throws kind of at the end of the game definitely takes away from it, but he still did it at the end of the day. I mean, yes, when Kobe scored his 80, a game, like, a game feel. Don't get me wrong, like, it was competitive. Like, they almost needed his 81 to win the game. But it's the regular season at the end of the day. When Kobe scored 81, Lakers didn't do nothing in the playoff. Bam scored 83. I mean, the Heat aren't really going to make no noise in the 7th. They get out of the play-in, but they're the 7th seed. They're probably going to run into Boston or the Knicks. And
no, if we play the Pistons, we'll talk about it later. If we play the Pistons, I think we could have a different conversation there.
Maybe, but I just don't. Who knows?
I got a couple more stats though.
Yeah, we're still talking about Bam.
Yeah.
So let me not get too deep.
No, you're good.
The Heat's run, but
yeah.
It happened. It was cool. I'm glad we kind of got to witness it. It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the way that it had, just like how it happened is just kind of taken away from it. But it is what it is. The records are meant to be broken. So,
yeah. He had 29 free throws attempted in the second half. So mostly the first half was, according to everyone who said that was unethical hoops. The first half was pretty ethical. It's definitely getting after it. Unfortunately for his shooting,
he got 50 and a half.
I think he had 43 at half.
I believe he was at 43 at half.
And then he had 62 after 3, and he had 83 to end. So, but no. And then last stat I had that I thought was interesting from 3, he was 2 for 14 after the first quarter. So he just kind of got cold there after that. Because he started off 5 for 8. Like, he was cooking. There's a reason why he had 31 in the first quarter.
You said he was 2 for 13?
2 for 14.
First quarter. 2 for 14.
After the first quarter.
22. And he finished set. So that means he finished what?
So he's 5 for 8 in the first quarter.
5 for 8 from 3 in the first quarter.
So he's 7 for 22 total. Because some people were arguing that it was like, I think it is statistically the worst shooting performance for have that many points. So that's why everyone's like, oh, it's unethical and all that stuff. I mean,
yeah, I just
don't hear it.
It's like Bam wasn't fouling himself. Like, he was out there playing basketball, and he was getting triple teamed. So when you have 3 people on you, and all 3 of them are jumping, trying to stop him from scoring, the refs are going to call that in the NBA too. So, yeah. So whether it's ethical hoops or not, like, he was out there playing basketball, and the Wizards were literally deliberate foul. So, especially in the fourth quarter, like, it was ridiculous watching tape back how the Wizards decided to attack that. Because obviously we were just top 7 for 22 from 3. It's not like he was at the end of the game.
Right.
Like, he was just shooting free throws.
Pretty much, yeah. I was gonna say just free throws.
But yeah, look, it was cool to see. Kind of tired of seeing it at this point. Like, which gotta, yeah. Like, for me, Luka's 51 looked way better, and it was more entertaining to watch that he scored on the Bulls on Thursday than Bam's 83. But 83 is 83. It happened. It's cool, but
it's the most points we have proof of in an NBA game.
Bro, no, that's facts. It's cool, bro. Like I said, you got to see it.
Luka Magic over there on the bottom. I'm a LeBron fan.
But for me,
LeBron
watching Luka's score 51 was way more satisfying to watch.
Him doing this every time he gets a little bit of contact.
Bro, watch the tape, bro. Bro, if you watch the game,
maybe he wasn't doing that against the Bulls. Fine.
Bro,
you don't got to do it against the Bulls. The Bulls are trash. Yeah, Bulls are trash.
But I'm just saying.
Matas is good. Matas is good though.
Look, Bulls are trash. The Wizards are trash.
Hey, Wizards are trash. I hear you. No, I know.
I'm literally just talking about good hoops to watch.
I'm saying that's why Luka wasn't doing his,
Right. It was look, but that's what Bam was doing.
I hear you. At the end, especially. So that's why I'm not defending the last 7-8 minutes. I'm not.
Exactly.
But he still got the points.
Don't come for Luka.
Okay, well, if everyone could have dropped 83, they could have. They would have. Then
you're not. Okay, hold up. Before we move on to what I was about to say, Klay Thompson would have, but Steve Kerr did him wrong, and everybody knows it. He had 60 and 3/4.
I hear you.
Was super hot, over hot.
Maybe he could have. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. Fuck Steve Kerr. I hear you. It ain't Clay's fault. But woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It's not Clay's fault.
But woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's coaching. That's coaching. Look, and Coach better coach than Steve Kerr. That's their right. Players coach for real. Let his players stay in the game. Actually get the record. Actually hoop. Do what the players want to. Everybody knows. Get that right. Come on now, let's be for real. He definitely wanted it. He definitely could have had it, but they played. But Steve Kerr played him.
Okay. Speaking of Bam and the Miami Heat, the Southeast Division is streaking in their last 10. 4 of those teams are 7-3 in their last 10, so that's a really good stat for a division that's really struggled to put up contenders in recent years. Jason, how are we feeling about the Magic specifically?
Especially of late. Well, to start, I think their early season struggles had a lot to do with their injuries. I want to say, for just some unlucky reason, they can't get Paolo and Franz on the court together. It's just as soon as one comes back, one goes down. It's unfortunate. Franz, he re-injured his ankle. I don't know if he's coming back before the regular season ends. I believe he's ramping up. I haven't seen much about it. I'll have to look it up and find out more eventually. But yeah, Paulo's been huge for them lately. He's noticeably he's cut down on his threes. I noticed in the past 10 games, which was interesting to me. It's getting more downhill, which is something I think a lot of fans have been screaming at him about, especially early in the season. It was a lot of turnaround jumpers, and he was settling for middies, and it wasn't his efficiency wasn't very good. But the last 10 games for them, he's been huge. I also think Jalen Suggs really does something to that team, because when he plays, they're good. I have to look up. Give me a second. I can look up their 5-man with Suggs in it. But just anything with Suggs in it has just. I mean, their best lineup this year has been Suggs, Anthony Black, Desmond Bain. I mean, it's played the most minutes. The big problem this season has been their offense, which has its issues. I
feel like Bain hasn't produced as much as they think. I feel like Bain hasn't produced as much as they wanted him to. I mean, they gave up a bunch of. They gave up a high second rounders or something.
I think he hasn't been the 3-point shooter they expected.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they came.
I think
he's going to be like their
sniper.
Exactly, their sniper that they go to. Like, okay, we need, on the inbound, we throw it to the corner. They thought they was getting a version of Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? And he has not necessarily been that for them.
He hasn't, but I believe his opening month was kind of a struggle. He was figuring out how to fit in, but since like mid December, he's been fantastic for them. He's really kept them afloat. I'm with you. I'm confused to why he's not shooting more threes there, because that's what they brought him in to do. I was actually Tamani Kamara this year is shooting 7.5 threes a game this year. It's like in my head, Desmond Bain was somewhere close to 5, I believe, and then like I just thought for somebody with the ability of shooting that Desmond Bain has, I think he should just be out there chucking not 8, 9, 10 attempts a game. Get him up there. His efficiency might dip a little bit, but it's going to help space the offense way more for the Magic and stop having that fake floor spacer Wendell Carter out there all the goddamn time. I think that's their big negative. I can't stand Wendell.
What are you laughing at?
I don't know, bro. My brother sent a text and I just started laughing, bro. My bad. I'll have to fucking cut that. My fucking bad, bro. I'll have to cut that.
No, you're good.
I think they keep this pace up, though. I think they're looking prime for that 5 seed. They keep this up. Franz comes back. Franz's brother Mortis just came back. He's starting to look a lot better. He was hurt for a little bit. De Silva has came up huge for them in moments. I really liked his minutes.
Colorado kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tristan De Silva.
He said you started a lot of these. He's looked really good.
They're only a half a game ahead of the Raptors, though, and only a game ahead of the Heat. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they're 5-0 against the Heat.
They did go. They went. Yeah, they have the tiebreaker with the Heat.
I don't like to say that either. But
I'd have to look at. Give me a sec. I can compare their schedules to remain. Give me a sec. I just had it. So Miami coming up has Charlotte, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Spurs, the Cavs twice.
Damn.
That's their next 6 for the Heat.
Damn.
That's gonna be a rough stretch for them. Hopefully they could squeak out that win against Charlotte. But Charlotte's played them hard this year. Charlotte's no pushover. Let me see Orlando's schedule, the next 6. Yeah, Orlando's schedule is it's around the same. They're both both these schedules get a little tough here. Orlando's got Atlanta. OKC comes to Orlando. They go to Charlotte at home against the Lakers. They get a break with the Pacers, and then Cleveland.
They both
So,
got decently.
Two stretches coming up
for anybody.
Yeah, two big stretches coming up for both those teams right there. And then even you could go down to Atlanta here, who's won 9 in a row. Their schedule softens a little bit. They got, I mean, obviously the game with Orlando, but they got Dallas. They go to Houston. They get Golden State, who we still don't know what's going on with Steph. Memphis, and then Detroit and Boston. So I mean, those three teams specifically, I think you really are gonna watch these next 7-8 games, and you know you can see the division get decided here. You know, the Heat and Magic, you know, go on a bad run after these big winning streaks, and Atlanta continues what they've been doing. Atlanta could surprise. Like, there's so much that could happen right there.
Yeah,
that's fair.
We could move on to the Hawks next. I think they're obviously, how many games in a row have they won? You said 9?
9, yeah.
9. I mean, they're really streaking. They could absolutely pass up the Heat, maybe even the Magic in this stretch, considering they got tougher stretches. A trio I think I like a lot. Dyson Daniels, CJ McCollum, and Jalen Johnson. They're at a plus 29.3 net rating. So I think if they play them a lot more, I mean, that's only going to lead to more success. And then you got Jonathan Kuminga off the bench. That's a good team right there. And they're sneaky coming up, especially like I'm saying, like there's a questions at some of the top tier Eastern Conference contenders. So they could absolutely surprise at that 8 seed. So we'll see.
I think their athleticism in the transition game can really start to surprise you. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's breakout's been huge for them offensively.
Yeah, 100%.
It's really helped.
Expecting that jump.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting, but I think people forgot when he came into the league, he was expected to be a scorer.
Yeah,
New Orleans drafted him to be a 2 that was going to have the ball in his hands, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't really working there. He went to the Jazz, kind of became more of a 3-and-D guy, and now we're at a 20-point per game guy.
Yeah,
and I think
he's definitely solid. And then Jalen Johnson came out of nowhere for me. I was not expecting this at all.
I was screaming.
Being an 18, 10-10 guy. Well, it's like not 10-10, but like 9-9, 8-8. That's insane production.
Yeah, I mean the only guy that's really kind of lacking behind still is Ricochet.
Here, Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. What's Ricochet's averages, if you don't mind me asking? He was the number 1 overall pick in 2024.
Yeah.
He's at 10 a game.
That's not horrible.
He's been up and down. He had a real rough stretch right before he got hurt, and obviously as a number 1 pick, I mean, especially Ricochet, he's gonna hear about it. I think the talk was a little loud. Since he's came back and they put him on the bench, I will say, which is rough for a number 1 overall pick in his second year.
Bryce Young.
Bench. Yeah, I mean,
difference for it.
Yeah, hey, he's getting that Bryce Young, but
I don't know. I just definitely see Ricochet has been the most underwhelming first overall pick since Anthony Bennett, honestly.
Yeah, Anthony Bennett, 100%. If people were expecting Wiggins to be Kobe, then maybe Wiggins. But
I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't either. I'm just saying for people who were, maybe they say Wiggins.
But you got to think about Wiggins was almost.
No, he was balling.
People were pushing him to be Finals MVP over Steph in 2020.
No. I agree with you. I'm just saying there were talks at one point where they were like he was a bust. I'm like, how are you saying that? But for some people, maybe. I agree. Anthony Bennett.
I'm telling you guys, they pushed him to get Kevin Love. Pushed the narrative to get Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then they took LeBron. They stole LeBron. Not fair.
I do really like their ability to I don't think I wouldn't bet on it, Obviously, I don't think they'd be favored in any. See, it depends where they finish. I think as of right now, the standing, I think Cleveland's going to be getting that 4 seed, and I think that's going to be a doom series for whoever ends up in that 5 seed. It's going to be a really rough time for. I'm going to assume the Southeast Division will end up with this 5 seed. I'd have to look through Toronto's schedule, but I'll do that in a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I really like what the Hawks could throw out in a playoff rotation. They have some interesting defenders they could bring off the bench. Mohamed Gay has shown some real flash as a defender. He just hasn't been able to. They're just really deep, so he hasn't been able to find minutes. Buddy Hield is also on this roster. People forget that. Jonathan Kuminga, when he is healthy, he's looked in the games he's played. He's looked really good for them.
He has.
And he fits in that transition game well with them. So, I think Atlanta's looking pretty bright out of those 3 teams. I think Atlanta might have the most, upside to them.
Yeah, and we don't have to go too in depth on the Heat, but I do think something I saw when I was looking at some statistics. I think a 3-man that they should explore more. They only had about 39 minutes, so obviously this could definitely change. But Hero, Bam, and Ware. So Tyler Hero, Kello, Ware, Bam Adebayo. Run that trio with maybe like a Jaquez and Davion or something. I think that's a great lineup there. That could work wonders for us.
Probably a lot.
Defensively is the big thing for that. Defensively, especially at the rim, we're solid. We got great rebounding. Perimeter-wise, we're good because Bam at the 4 works fine. He could switch on to 1s. He could switch on to 2s. He's 1 through 5. I mean, he should have won a Defensive Player of the Year at some point, but I couldn't really point to it at all. At least right now without like the stats in front of me. But I think that's a great lineup that we should really explore more, especially considering we got this rough stretch coming up. We're going to really need our best players on the floor, especially players that work together well.
Finally getting healthy, too.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we're kind of having some injury woes early that kind of led to us, being down the standings, but it happens. I mean, we're not going to tank, so we're going to play to the end.
Any thoughts, Mike?
To the Hornets. Move on to the Hornets.
Yeah,
So
we can do that.
Down in Charlotte, been on a little bit of a heater. Back up to 500 for the first time since I don't even know when. LaMelo Ball looks great. Knuppel was looking possibly like the Rookie of the Year. Realistically, it definitely could happen. Upset Cooper Flag.
I can give you
Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller. Starting lineup: Brandon Miller, the 4-man Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Kai Knuppel, Miles Bridges, and
I got a stat for you. Yeah,
and not Mark Williams.
Musa Diabate. I got a stat for you.
I can't. Go ahead.
Starting 5 plus 25.1 net rating. Like that's
exactly that's
insane.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane.
Ridiculous.
And it's a big. It's the 300-minute sample size.
Exactly. It's not short.
Not
with
short.
A 136 offensive rating, like that's easily the NBA right now.
No, they could definitely make some noise in the play-in and maybe give Detroit some problems and shake up the East a little bit. I definitely can foresee that happening if they can make it into the 8 seed through the play-in, but I can definitely foresee them making a little bit of noise, and it would not be a cakewalk for Detroit going into the first round. That's for sure.
I'm definitely there with you. By the way, I just want to say, Con Knuppel is on DraftKings right now. He is a minus 220 to win Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flag. So, I think he's getting close to locking it up, which is good for Con, man. He's looked amazing there. But one of the big things I've been wanting to point with the Hornets is how well they shoot the 3. They go out there. Con Knuppel is first in made threes by 24 over Luka. LaMelo is second. I believe Brandon Miller's fallen a little bit. He's only playing in 51 games, but he's 30th. He's made 158. Also, his step that he's taken this year has been huge for them. He's developed into a really good two-way wing.
Absolutely.
And his athleticism, they're a really fun team. But yeah, like Ethan said, like that plus 25 net rating with that starting lineup has been insane over this stretch since basically late December, stretching into starting early January when they started that win streak and all that. I have nothing but hope for them. I'm with Mike here. I really think they could give some problems to a team like, the Pistons, where I think this is where we can kind of get into some of the issues I think, Detroit could have coming up in the postseason. But there's secondary. There's just no secondary scoring with Detroit.
That's a major problem. Cade is off.
The
Pistons
Cade is
are
off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's definitely taken that leap into like showing everybody like I was a number one pick for a reason. Like he definitely is showing that he's the heart and soul of the team. But in doing that, he definitely is not exposed, but he has highlighted the lack of offense that other people create on a consistent basis. Like Duran he's not a consistent 10-10 guy, unfortunately. He's not a consistent 20-10 guy, I should say. So he's not giving you like that
His
five man. Yeah, exactly. He's not he could be at some point. Like he could be that 7-footer, that dominant force that's getting 12 rebounds a night. He could grow into that, but he's not giving you that consistently. I feel like right now he's honestly reminding me of how we view Evan Mobley. Realistically, doesn't necessarily show up consistently. Like he's there. Like we don't forget about him ever. But yeah, sometimes he does disappear a little bit.
Yeah, their best lineup this year has been their starting lineup. Their net rating's 11.5 this year. They still have a 123. Basically, it's 123.9. So 124 rating. So
right. I mean, and I also want to bring up, not to cut you off, my apologies, but also Detroit definitely needs Tobias Harris to step up a little bit, at possibly being that more consistent secondary option. He's the vet on the team. He's showing Philly, and Detroit is first stint that he can consistently score, but he needs to take a little bit more of a step. I'm not sure if he's going to, but I don't even want to say take a step, but he needs to show a bit more consistency in his game. Like they need like 15 to 18 out of him a night consistently. Like we can't have these below 10 scoring nights and he's 0 for 6 from 3. Like that is detrimental.
Yeah, because they're
like a team like Charlotte, they could steal 3. They could steal 2-3 if Tobias Harris has 2-3 games like that, and then Cade Cunningham has an off night or 2 off nights against the Charlotte. They're going home.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
so I mean,
that's the thing.
I don't first like. I think Cade Cunningham is going to take them far. But it's definitely going to be a struggle if he doesn't have a little bit of assistance from his guys.
I definitely agree there.
And Detroit is not. If I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong, please. But I don't think Detroit is super deep as well.
Their bench has been really. I mean, Karis LeVert's been really underwhelming off the bench. Kevin Huerter's starting to look more comfortable with them. They finally found some minutes for Paul Reed, and I think he's been really solid. Ron Howland will give you really good minutes, but they once again, their issue is there's no real creator. Dennis Jenkins he's all right. I don't know. I don't know how many minutes he's gonna get in the playoff setting. Duncan Robinson's been underwhelming for them.
Super.
I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, he's literally just okay at best for them.
I think he's helped a little bit with their spacing because I mean he just hasn't knocked down shots this year. It's been a little
literally, absolutely.
We can go to another contender here.
Yeah, we want to move. Yeah, definitely. So, how are we feeling about Boston? I mean, Jaylen Brown is in the MVP conversation. That's for sure. Top 5 in the race. I'm not sure what his odds are at the moment, but he's definitely in the race. He's been looking great, and now with Tatum back, I mean, I'm not sure how consistently Tatum's going to be back. I know he didn't play the other night, but yeah, Jaylen Brown is taking a massive step up in the absence of Jason Tatum. Like literally nobody thought that the Celtics would be firmly in the 2 seed without Jason Tatum. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. He's really been doing his thing. Averaging 29. That's nobody was expecting that. So at all.
I definitely boards and giving out 5 times this year, which
right, exactly.
Overall,
exactly my point.
So good.
Exactly my point. So I definitely think they could easily but I know they're taking their time bringing Tatum back. Like I know he's not going to be playing every single game that they have left. So yeah, by the time playoff time comes, I definitely think Boston is going to not have any issues until they get to the second, maybe even the Eastern Conference Finals.
My assumption with Tatum is that he's going to be a full going into the playoff. His first 4 games, he came back where he was at a 27-minute limit, I believe. That's what I'm seeing, at least. Mm-hmm. He played 32 against Washington the other night. So I'm believing that he's going to be a full go in the playoffs. I'm wondering how they're... I think my problem with them going into the playoffs is going to be their center rotation. Keita's got to step up. Because Vucevic defensively has just not looked good at all to me in Boston. And I think that's a problem. Because during their championship runs, a lot of what made them so successful was Porzingis' defense. Robert Williams was a really good defender at the 5. And it helped Jason Tatum be more of a switch defender. I don't think they have that same ability if they're going to play Vucevic a lot of minutes. So I think Keita's going to be their real big key these playoffs, and he's been showing lately that he has the ability to step up. He has a little tendency to get into some foul trouble, which can be concerning, especially playoff times. Teams can scheme into that a little bit, but
switch on him, all that, you know.
Other than their center rotation, their bench can be a little young. That's my only complaint. It's hard to find complaints about Boston. Real good team, but my only other complaint would really be maybe their bench is just a little young. Pritchard, you'll have obviously playing big minutes, but if you want to go depth wise, Sam Hauser's look good for them. I think that's probably your 7. If you want to go any deeper than that, Shireman has looked alright. I mean, you know, he just drafted a couple years ago. Finally getting minutes. They can go to Ron Harper Jr. He's looked good for them. I don't imagine they will at all. Just could be the rotation. That's the only thing. Otherwise, do you have any real big complaints about Boston?
No, not necessarily. I do think they still do have the same problems that they did against the Knicks. They don't really have anyone to cover Cat.
Yeah.
You know, Vooch is going to get cooked. And they don't really have anyone necessarily to cover Jalen Brunson. I mean, Derek White is a good defender, but Brunson kind of definitely was getting the better of him in last playoffs, and I think he's a crafty enough scorer where I don't think they really have someone who can really keep up with him necessarily. I know they have good defenders, so don't get me wrong, they can probably scheme something up. Yeah. But, I mean, especially if we're going to go off last year, and I think the Knicks have only looked, I would argue, better this year. So I think they still have struggles with that, but that doesn't mean that the Celtics team that has as good of players as they do with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they can absolutely take over a series if they're on.
So definitely. Yeah, that's where I think Kata's really just gotta this will be a telling point for Kata.
100%.
I think it'll be, either hey, we have our center for the next couple years, or hey, we're on the center market. Because if Kata has a bad playoff showing and, teams are able to scheme into him, and I'm intrigued to see what Joe Mazzulla also does. Scheme. He has a lot of, let's go with exotic schemes defensively. So we'll see fun to be how he matches up with some of these teams in the playoffs. Right now, what's their matchup? Let's assume the Heat. Oh, the Sixers just moved back up to the 8th spot over Atlanta. They just won.
Who'd they beat again?
They beat the Blazers.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been struggling a little lately. We'll talk on the Blazers in a bit, though. So let's assume the Heat win the 7-8 spot. For fun's sake. I think there's a pretty, that's where they can match up. It's going to be fun to see what they can scheme into against Bam, and if that's what Spo is going to go within the playoffs. I just don't think they have really a ton of weaknesses. The other team, the team I really think has some weaknesses and some glaring possible issues going into the playoffs is going to be the Knicks. I think there's been some stinkers they've had against good playoff teams this year. Cat just hasn't looked comfortable all year. I think he's averaging.
I feel like he's trying to play a different type of role.
I do remember he said at the beginning of the year, like in training camp, he didn't know his role in the offense with Mike Brown. And I was like, well, why is the second best scorer saying in training camp he doesn't know his role? Like, that obviously means Mike Brown's not really doing much around, like, he has not much built around him. Which I think is going to become concerning in the playoffs, because I don't think, especially once you get to the point of, round 2 against a good team, possibly, like the Knicks, excuse me, not the Knicks, the Celtics, something like that, you're not going to be able to just change your whole offensive scheme and everybody's going to just be comfortable with it. And it's, who's this? Cat's been, a little cold. He's been really good as a rebounder. I have to say that. He's been a lot of a surprise as a rebounder. A little better as a rim protector this year, but it's still not good enough for him and Brunson. Him and Brunson being on the floor major minutes is concerned. It's just always going to be concerning. Mikal Bridges hasn't looked very good lately to me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm super high on Bridges as of this year.
I'm not.
Yeah, he's been a little underwhelming to me this year. That's their other big thing. And then, also, is Cat going to stay out of foul trouble these playoffs?
Yeah, that's the big question.
That's one of the biggest concerns.
Probably not.
Because I don't think them playing Mitch Robinson hasn't been, it's not going to be bad with Mitch, but I just really think they need to see what they have in this team, and it's like if they can't make it back to conference finals, where do they go from here?
I get you. Yeah, I mean they're
No, this is definitely the Knicks. Like, I think this is probably their last go round with this group. If they don't make nothing, like they have to get to the finals.
I think Bridges is going to be probably
But they aren't gonna get nearly the return that they got for getting him.
for sure.
Like,
Also,
there's no way.
Also, the Knicks. I'm going to yell about this for a minute. Offensively, the last few games I've watched them play, it's probably been spaced out, but the last few games I've watched them play, they have been settling to letting Josh Hart shoot. And Josh Hart has not been shooting well lately. And I'm scared that they're going to go into the fucking playoffs and just settle for whatever teams give them. And they're just going to Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, if he's not on, they're going to shoot them. They're just going to shoot him on a series. That's a big concern. Josh Hart cannot be going into these series watching teams leaving wide open and chucking.
That's fair.
It's happened a lot.
Really fair. Yeah, we just got to see how they attack. We'll see how defenses address them, because they're really just focusing on Brunson. They're like, we're gonna live or die by Josh Hart and Kel Bridges. We got to see.
yeah, that ain't really gonna work.
Not at all. But
I don't know how you guys feel about the Cavs, but
I'm pretty high on the Cavs. I can't lie.
With Harden,
that roster is deep too.
Yeah, I really like adding Harden. I think because
their fourth best shooting guard of all time. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, no, that's facts. And realistically, them adding Harden, it takes Donovan Mitchell, as long as he's healthy, takes so much offensive pressure off of James Harden.
Yeah, exactly.
He was playing with Kawhi last year, and don't get me wrong.
But Kawhi's not
great.
Donovan Mitchell's going to be on the court a lot more.
A whole lot more. They have one of the best big combos, if not the best big combo in the NBA with Mobley and Jared Allen. So it's really, I think everything is in place for the Cavs to come out the East. It could happen. Like, it definitely could happen, as long as
their depth is really bring them out.
And they're deep, and they're super deep too.
Super deep. You can give Dennis Schroeder a lot of minutes. Sam Merrill's going to play a lot. You have Max Strus. You have Naquan Tomlin and Tyson.
Yeah, Jalen Tyson, right?
Yeah, and
brother of Jordan.
And also Dean Wade as well. You have 11 playable guys in the playoffs.
You said Strus, right?
Yeah.
My guy.
I said Strus. Yeah.
They really have 11 playable guys coming into the playoffs, and that's going to be...
It's all about their stars showing up. If they show up, Harden and Mitchell, if they show up consistently in the playoffs, then they absolutely have a shot to come out of the East, and that's legitimate, because their bigs are good enough to, especially defensively, where they just have to show up offensively and at least put up a fight defensively.
Harden is doing,
guys they can play in the playoffs. I forgot about Keon Ellis.
There you go.
Yeah, but... literally, even if Harden is off and not having a super good shooting night, like, sure, say if he scores 13 points in a game or not, as long as he is doing the playmaking that he is capable of doing for for Allen and Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell is being Donovan Mitchell, playoff Harden can come out and they'll be fine, as long as he's playmaking. So really, and that's what they got him for. They got him to bring out so Mobley could take that step. I mean, you got everyone forgets that Embiid won an MVP the year that he played with Harden. So we just got to think about that. The way that Harden gets the best out of his bigs is massive. So I think that's going to make or break the Cavs, is his playmaking, not necessarily his scoring, which is what has brought his teams down in the past in the playoffs. So
I'm pretty sure he had Capella averaging well over like 16, 18 points a game.
exactly.
Like that's insane. Like he makes bigs. Yeah, 100%.
While we're on the Harden talk, been seeing this on Twitter the past day and a half, 2 days. These kids are trying to say that SG is a better isolation scorer than James Harden.
Not prime for prime, no.
No, we don't have
We're in the call with a damn SGA fan though. Don't let him go off.
Yeah, hold on, give me 1 second.
I believe when I looked it up, I don't want to say these are the exact numbers, but I think SGA's highest isolation possessions in a season was around 590. Harden in his prime, his isolation possessions were in the 900. He got over 1,000 isolation possessions in a season, and was just as efficient as SGA. Their effective field goal percentage, I believe, was like. I believe SGA was like 0.2% higher, but to have that many isolation possessions and still do it at the efficiency James Harden was doing it at.
That's what makes his scoring performances like insane.
If I remember, he was averaging 13 isos a game at a point. 13.
I mean, I believe it. When he was on that stretch where he was averaging, I think 39 or 38.
He was averaging 40.
40, like that's insane.
Over that 30.
No, he's absolutely a better isolation scorer than SGA. Even though SGA is obviously now broken Wilt's 20 plus points per game mark, and he's even going to add to that record. So you gotta give him props. There's nothing you can really do except give him props for that. I mean, he's obviously an elite scorer on a historic level now, proven.
Oh, definitely. He's up there.
We've been talking a lot about the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and kick it to the Western Conference. Home of your Utah Jazz. We won't get to them yet. We'll talk more top of the Western Conference. Not much to talk about, yeah. Let's go into the Thunder. SGA obviously breaking Wilt's 20-plus points per game, or points per game, good lord. 20-plus point streak. I believe he's at like 128 now. He just extended it today.
He did extend it. It was looking a little rough.
It was rough. It looked rough.
I have to say, he just had an off shooting day. Minnesota was doubling him a lot on his downhill stuff. He was still getting some good shots, and it's just he wasn't getting nothing to fall really until late in the third. He finally got a couple to go to get him to 10 before the fourth, and then mid fourth, later fourth, he hit a couple buckets. He got an and one. He had to hit a 3 too to get himself back up to that 20. But yeah, I mean, he's been so consistent. And that's best thing you can really say about him.
Historic level of consistency. Nothing you can take away from that. You got to just props.
Just dominant. Just consistently dominant. And even in a game like today, he didn't have great shooting performance, but I thought he was fantastic. I thought he looked great today. I think he had over 10 assists. I don't think they credited him, but he had 2 blocks in the game. He had 2 blocks. I don't think they ever gave it to him, but I watched both of them, so I know they messed up on that for sure. But yeah, even in games he's not going to give you that 30 consistent. He's still going to show up and impact the game in great ways. They came out, in the second half, they were down 4, I want to say, going into halftime. The Timberwolves were starting to go on a run, getting momentum, and they came out and just took over today, that second half. So they're still my favorites over there in the West.
Yeah, 8 games in a row.
Yeah, until somebody beats them, they're definitely my favorite. But I definitely think it doesn't have the same feeling as last year. Last year it just was like, all right, they're overwhelming favorites. Like you just felt like, I don't think there's really anybody that will beat them. Like it felt obvious.
I just feel like it's because every other team in the West has taken an additional step. Like you look at the Spurs now, the way that Steven Castle's playing, the way that Devin Vassell is playing, obviously the way that Wembanyama is playing, they look great. And let's not forget about Dylan Harper now. Like they look fantastic. They look fantastic, and they're super deep. They're super deep.
They're balling.
They're one of the deepest teams in the league.
Yeah, they are super deep.
So you got to think about that. Then the Rockets obviously adding Kevin Durant. That the Rockets and the Timberwolves. The Nuggets are a little underwhelming, but you still have been underwhelming. You know, Jokic hasn't been as good in the clutch as we are used to. But
my king, my sunshine at the 3 seed.
Right, the Lakers at the 3 seed with LeBron and Luka. I mean, Luka looks great. I mean, obviously, they have their drawbacks, but they're still. And LeBron is being LeBron still. This dude. But LeBron is 41 and still doing LeBron things. He's averaging 21. You really can't be mad at that.
LeGoat.
So, yeah.
We got a Jordan fan in here, but LeGoat.
Yeah, he's I'll go. But yeah, I mean, the top 6 teams in the West, and I mean the Suns, they might make some noise, but realistically, I don't think so. Especially if they end up being the 7.
Yeah, that's rough for them. A Spurs matchup, if they do end up beating the Clippers, is
so I just don't see. I don't foresee.
Chance you can see the Suns get as high as 5.
They could, yeah. They're only a couple games, but they're a game and a half back. Yeah, you're right.
And Booker and Jalen Green have been playing like some.
How long is Dylan Brooks out?
I believe he'll be back right at the start of the playoffs.
All right, that's big for them. That is big
for them, but I mean, we got to see how that affects their seeding.
100%.
I'm gonna point this out with the Suns. Connor Gillespie this year has been really big for them. He's 7th in made threes in the NBA.
Wow.
He has 2 made threes. So they really found a steady guard to go next to Booker. And I think that's really been huge for them. Their center rotation has also been pretty good, I have to say. Mark Williams has been up and down, but Iguodaro's giving them really good minutes. They just recently started playing Kwan Malawak, their 10th overall pick, and also Rasheer Fleming, their other first-round pick from these, and they both have looked. I've liked their minutes a lot, so I think there's some intriguing upside to something. I don't know if they're playoffs. They're gonna win a playoff series. I don't know if they're that good, but I think they have a good formula to win regular season game. Royce O'Neal's also shooting like 44% from 3 on 7 attempts.
Yeah, better than he was for the Jazz.
Way better.
Well, it'd be nice if Quinn Snyder didn't decide to play him as a power forward.
Yeah, that'd
be nice.
That is fair.
Yeah, but
all right. So, I guess we'll move on to the 3 seed. Let's do a little deeper dive into the Lakers. We know that.
I'll just start with them, Ethan, Mister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The bronze sexual in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So the Lakers, unfortunately, they do have a bit of a ceiling coming up. And what I believe is their ceiling. I think they got a tough matchup if the Timberwolves are the 6th seed. I think it's a tough enough matchup where I think they might mess around and lose again in the first round. And the problem is I just think the LeBron-Luka pairing, the juice isn't really there. That when they're both, when it's one or the other, there's a positive net rating. The Lakers are playing good basketball. That's why they're the 3rd seed, is because they're a good enough team. Those are good enough talents where you could stagger minutes enough, and it's a great team. When they're on the court together, which unfortunately, when it's crunch time, you want your best players on the court. You don't want to be benching a LeBron James or benching a Luka Doncic in the clutch. So
you can't.
They're at a negative net rating. Like, they're not playing great basketball. They're not playing winning basketball together. So it's just not a great look. Unfortunately, they'll have to make the decision in the offseason. They're going to have to get rid of they're going to have to get rid of LeBron. It's just what's going to have to happen because Luka's the younger guy. He's better right now. They'll have to make the decision. So that LeBron will probably go to Cleveland, have a retirement tour. Everyone's going to love it. But the Lakers will definitely be better off for it, realistically, because I don't know if they have their pick this year, but even if it's a later pick, I'm pretty sure this is a good enough draft class where they'll be able to get at least a solid bench player maybe at the end of the first if they got it. So I think there's some reason for optimism.
Yeah, I have my concerns with the Lakers going into the playoffs. That defense just I want to say over the past 6-7 games they've really picked it up defensively. They've had a lot better intensity, and DeAndre Ayton's looked a little bit better.
Yeah, when he's your center, you got a ceiling defensively, unfortunately.
Yeah, I still am not. I don't really.
That's another reason why I think the Timberwolves are cooking them.
Yeah, if that's their matchup again, I really don't know what JJ Redick's gonna do because they've been figuring him out during the regular season. I will say that. I don't want to say they're 3-0. I do know they won 2. The Lakers. They beat the Timberwolves twice this year. I know, but
yeah, we're just gonna
over a series that
because Austin Reeves is a wild card in a way as well.
Yeah,
them three being on the court at the same time is detrimental to the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of them defend.
Yeah, so.
And last year in the playoffs, LeBron was their rim protector because they just didn't have a big.
Yeah, that's
no.
And yeah, he was their big.
Maybe prime heat LeBron that'll at least work for a little bit, but not.
That's what I'm scared of. They might end up going back to because how playable is DeAndre Ayton going to be in the playoffs?
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to play him.
And Jackson get major minutes in the playoffs. He's looked better this year, I will say, but. You have 2 possibly incapable centers, and if LeBron's going to be your big again, bye.
They're in a spot. They're definitely in a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they gotta hope they play the Suns. To be honest,
I think their best matchup is Houston. I think they can get through Houston. Houston's offense just.
Here, go into Houston for me.
Yeah, let's dive into Houston.
Kevin Durant's been Kevin Durant. I don't think that's been the problem. I think their lack of a point guard is just real,
abundantly clear.
It gets very glaring at times. Amen Thompson's just a very obvious not a point guard. I think he's been fantastic this year. I don't think he's been the touted up defender he was last year. I think he's still been all defense, but I don't think he's at that same level as last year. But Sengun can get very inconsistent, and defensively, you can attack him and get him into foul trouble quickly because he doesn't move his feet well, backpedaling at all.
Hey, KD said it, bro.
Yeah. Jabari Smith also can be a wild card. You don't exactly know what you're getting from him every night. They're a team filled with wild cards outside of Kevin Durant. Reed Shepherd, how many minutes can Reed Shepherd play in the playoffs? Because he's just gonna get attacked over and over and over. He could not play defense at all. So there's just very glaring issues with Houston. Which I think the Lakers can really attack some of their weaknesses. Especially from the one advantage I would give Houston is that from the athlete side, they're just a lot more athletic in the stage. But they're very exploitable. For as good of a defense as they have, Sengun just scares me in the playoffs still. There's just a lot of concerns with him for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the Lakers' best series to me would be with Houston.
Yeah, LeBron, Cook, and Reed Shepard. That's for sure.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure the Rockets are going to do whatever they can to just get somehow hide Reed, but then again, you're gonna have
Try to
Reed.
guard Reeves. You know, it's probably his
Yeah.
best. You know, he's not touching Luka or LeBron. You know,
Another big thing with the Lakers, I mean, sorry to go back to him, but is Austin Reeves going to step up in the playoffs this year?
we'll have to
Because
see.
he disappeared against Minnesota last year.
They're gonna need him.
Yeah. It's
And he's
probably
like-
gonna be like one of those. We're gonna see
Like
moments.
he was able to be schemed out of games, which was really concerning.
Right.
So he really has to show up. But back to Houston. I think if they want to get out the first round, I think it's gonna be tough for them again this year. Not having that point guard is really just hurtful. Like if Fred VanVleet's there, I think that's a whole different team. I think they're a whole lot better.
Is he a Raptor again?
No, he's hurt. He tore his ACL.
Like he's hurt.
Oh, my fault. All right.
He tore his ACL like during I believe he was training in the off season and he tore it.
Jeez.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
All right. And then the fifth seed, the Denver Nuggets, they've had some woes in the clutch with Jokic. How are we feeling about the Nuggets? Their ambitions into the playoffs.
Like a month ago, felt like I was kind of screaming about them, like looking like the second, like they were my favorites in the West. I thought Jokic was creeping on another MVP once he, before he got hurt and everything.
Right.
But they've concerned me in the clutch this year.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it's just an execution thing or if it's just shots. I've seen Jokic, especially lately, he's had a tendency to not shoot the ball in the fourth quarter.
I feel like he's deferring to Jamal Murray in that regard.
I think so too, and I think I like
I
Jamal.
don't know. Yeah.
But I also here's my issue is Jamal's not getting it done with Jokic, but in those games that he didn't have Jokic, I believe they were 6-1 in the clutch. Like they have a good clutch record without Jokic this year, which is
They do, but just recently, you gotta think about it. Against the Lakers, Jamal Murray had 5 points yesterday.
yeah, he stunk it up.
1 for 14. He was literally out there not doing anything. Literally not doing anything. He played 36 minutes.
And ended up fouling out. If I remember right.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I do remember they did get some good production out of Cam Johnson. Tim Hardaway, I think, had 32 off the bench in that game. Gordon had 27.
Tim Hardaway had 20. Aaron Gordon had 27.
It was 27 there. That's what it was.
Yeah, but still,
I was corrected. But yeah, Jamal Murray, I mean, he's not going to do that all the time against that Lakers defense.
that's fair.
Their rotation, I am intrigued with come playoff time. Spencer Jones, I don't know. I don't think too many people know about him. I'll put you on. It's been really good at the 4 for them. He's filled in really nicely when Watson and them gotten hurt.
Mm.
But I think their defense can be a problem at times. Jokic we don't really need to go in depth about his defense, but it's not good.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day for the Nuggets, it's going to come down to their stars being their stars.
Exactly, yeah.
So
Jokic and Murray need to figure out what they need to do in the clutch.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, they can't rely. I mean, Aaron Gordon was huge for them when they won in 2023, but I don't think you want to be relying on your role players to win you games consistently. That's why you pay your stars, what you pay them.
Yeah, exactly.
The role players come in and they get you a game 3 or a game 4 at either way team. That's where that comes. That's when Aaron Gordon scoring 34 comes in. That's why you have him. But to win 4 games or the other 3, that's what Jokic and Jamal Murray are getting paid $50 million for.
Exactly, I'm with you there.
So,
do you have anything to add to any of this talk, Ethan, about the Nuggets? Just any issues with them or anything you want to add?
I mean, there's always going to be, questions about what kind of support are Jokic and Jamal Murray going to have, especially outside of that pick and roll, where they'll even do like the reverse pick and roll, where Jokic will be the ball handler, Jamal will just set a quick little pick and pop. I mean, you like what you see from Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown's showing some things. It's a good ball club. I think you always can't count out a Jokic team, especially in the playoffs, considering he's done it before. But I don't know if you can necessarily favor them, especially against like a Spurs or a Thunder. That's a tough matchup. So, it all comes down to how they get matched up. But
Wemby didn't play against them their last matchup, but Denver had a really nice comeback on the Spurs a couple nights ago. It's pretty.
Going into tanking, it's been an issue for some years now. Obviously, it's taken a bigger precedent the last couple of years. Now we're looking at the Nets, Jazz,
Kings,
the Nets, Jazz, Kings, the Grizzlies, they're terrible.
Wizards, Pacers this year,
and the Pacers this year.
The Kings suck.
Halliburton.
Kings aren't even tanking. They're just bad.
Yeah, they're just that bad.
They're just bad, man.
We got the Western Conference. We got the Western Conference Bulls. Which is crazy.
The Bulls are tanking now. Yeah, the Bulls are tanking now.
Yeah, but yeah, how do we feel about that? I'm gonna pass it off to one of you first, and then I'll hop in. Yeah, Ethan, go ahead. Ethan, go ahead. Take the lead on this one.
All right. I mean, especially coming from a team that won't tank, I want to hear your
right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, coming from a fan who, since other teams are doing it, I was in favor, probably more so before the year, of the Heat tanking, because I'm like, I know I sound dumb, and some Heat fans are going to be in the comments that I'm an idiot. I think that the ceiling of this team is just a little too, not really high enough. But anyways, not talking about just the Heat. I think tanking in general it's a problem because it just scratches off certain markets from, why would you as like a Pacers fan this year, why would you as a fan watch a game? What's the point? They're not going to be putting out their best product. I understand Halliburton's hurt, so they have incentive to not really put out their best product. Or a Jazz fan, why would you watch other than like betting purposes? Like, there's no real reason because they're trying to lose, and once again they're incentivized because one of their picks is lottery protected, and that's kind of the issue. Is because the lottery, like, you don't want to be behind the 8 ball. Why would you want to screw your pick over if you know for a fact, like, as a general manager, like, you're not going to sell your team this, like, but because obviously the players, the coaches, they're going to be playing their heart out if they're on the court. They're not going to be knowingly like, oh, I'm going to make sure I miss this pass so we get a better pick in June. No, they're going to be playing their heart out. So it's a GM thing where they're like, should we really be putting out our best product because we know that we have a ceiling? And that's just not good for the league, and it's just factually hurt viewer ratings, and it's a problem. It's a problem, and I don't have a one size fits all fix all, but I don't know. Maybe you don't really do so much of a. Well, I don't know if that really helps it. I would say maybe not really a lottery because, I mean, the NFL, there's like, how many teams are like actively tanking, like, purposely?
I think Well,
Yeah, I guess NFL comparison. I mean, how many NBA teams did we just name? Six teams that are like for
I,
sure
I can
like
see the exact number.
tanking.
Probably
I
4 or
mean, we
5
got
to be safe. 4 or 5.
What, tanking teams?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
I say six. I mean, Pelicans, Jazz, Kings.
there's 9. There's 9 teams pretty much tanking at this point right now.
In the NBA,
I
Memphis,
mean,
Dallas, New Orleans. New Orleans sucks.
Utah Kings, and then the Bulls.
Utah, Bulls, Nets, Wizards, Pacers.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, if they went NFL style, I mean, you got to think. I mean, realistically, out of the top 10 teams that are picking in the draft, who's tanking in the
Well,
draft right
the thing
for who
going like
tanked
that-
for their pick?
The thing with things like that, it actually helps the teams that are bad get like over the past 2 years. You have to remember, Dallas ended up tanking late in the season to get down to the 11th overall pick, won a coin flip, and got the first overall pick. So they looked into Cooper Flag. The year before, Atlanta made the play-in, won a coin flip, and ended up with the first overall pick. Now, granted, the player they selected hasn't turned out to be amazing for them because Alex R said, I don't want to play in Atlanta. Good job, Alex R, by the way.
I mean, Washington ain't. Yeah.
But I think all this started when Adam Silver started just flattening the odds more. Because you're not helping the actual bad teams in the league. You're starting to incentivize teams, that are finishing 7th, 8th, 9th place in the league. It's like, well, why would I go make the play-in? Instead, I can lose a bunch of games towards the end of the year and have a 4% chance at the first overall pick, or to jump in the top 4 at 8th. It makes more sense. As soon as you kept flattening the odds, it incentivized teams closer to the playoff race to start tanking for a better pick if they don't think they're going to make it.
Like the Bucks, right
Exactly.
now.
The Bucks are an example of that. Dallas.
Yeah.
They just tank. I mean, I think the Pacers are kind of in a weird situation.
Yeah, their star players hurt.
I haven't seen.
So you kind of, the Pacers are kind of like the only team where I'm like, okay, I guess. But outside of that, everybody else that's tanking, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and I
don't know. It just affects the game in a negative way. Like you gotta look like I hate to bring this back up, but you gotta look at Bam scored 83 against the Wizards, bruh. Like people are using the Wizards as like a way to take away from Bam scoring that 83. You know what I'm saying? So and that's because of the tanking stuff that's going on. Like obviously the Wizards are garbage. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. I understand. Bam had 83 in the game. Nobody understood. Alex R had 28 in 20 minutes. If he actually got to just play the whole game, he would have had 40. Like the game would have been close if Alex R played the whole game.
Exactly.
They lost by 21.
Score, like I was gonna say, like wasn't the final score like 142?
Yeah. The Heat still gave up 129 points in that game.
Right.
That's why I'm like, I never understood why they try to, I don't know why they're trying to discredit Bam over it, but
I mean, that wasn't the. I mean, I still see the Bam arguments, but like they're using the Wizards, who was a tanking team, and
yeah,
arguably one of the worst team, who's arguably the worst team in the league right now.
Yeah,
even with Trae Young and Anthony Davis and all that, but both weren't playing that night.
Keyshawn George didn't play either.
Exactly. So like,
I don't
know, man.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like I said, it just creates a bad look for the league in a way, and it's
yeah. I mean, considering both of your teams are kind of in this bracket, how are you guys feeling about the Jazz, and then how are you feeling about the Grizzlies afterwards, Mike?
Well, I always knew this was going to be the plan as soon as Gobert and Mitchell were traded that it was going to be a 3 to 4 year plan because of the protections on the pick from the Derek Favors deal.
Right. Yeah, and as from the Grizzlies standpoint, I mean, even before they traded Jaren Jackson, they weren't looking good. Like it's not like they were in a playoff race, and whatever going on with Ja is going on. Apparently, he has negative trade value. Um, yeah, they're in a real weird spot. So depending on what pick that they get, maybe if they get if they get a top 4 pick, like but it's a deep draft class. This is one of the deepest draft classes in probably the last 4 or 5 years. So hopefully they can grab somebody. Maybe a Darren Peterson to maybe replace Ja or play alongside Ja. That would be fantastic. Yeah, but or AJ would be great. Memphis needs a wing. They have not had a star wing. I mean, they have wings on it. Like they got
Wilson, Coward.
Yeah, they got Coward. They got they have wings, but they don't have like
Memphis is a really intriguing core down there.
Not necessarily. That's the thing. Like they kind of and them trading Jaren Jackson. They kind
Wells and
Edie Wells.
I think. And Coward's
Yeah, Coward's okay. I don't know. He's does not. I don't know. They need. It's not a free agent destination, so I'm not going to say they need to sign somebody. It's realistically not going to happen. But they need to hit on a draft pick. Like they have to hit on a draft pick this year.
They haven't had a stud wing since Rudy Gay, dude.
No, literally, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I'm agreeing. I'm mad, dude.
Like Coward is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but he's not. He's not fringe all-star. Like he's not all-star guy. I'm not saying we need an all-NBA player or even an all-star, but we need somebody who's going to produce consistently. And then we do need somebody who's going to bring the best. We need somebody who's going to bring the best out of Edie. We need Edie to take that step. We didn't draft him at 8 overall for nothing. And then next year, John needs to either figure it out or we gotta cut him loose.
What's the chance you think he'll be even on your roster to start next year?
I don't know. I don't know realistically because if he's that depends. Yeah, I have no idea.
That's on his value.
I say more likely than not. I think so. I don't think they're just gonna cut him.
No, I wouldn't imagine it.
But I don't think. But realistically, I've heard Brian Windhorst say that like at the trade deadline, like teams wanted Memphis to give up a pick in order to take Ja. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, like they literally said he had negative value. So
yeah. I know you look surprised there, Ethan, but like in the games he's played in this year, outside of a game he had against Phoenix early in the year, he hasn't looked good this year.
The fact we didn't trade for him then is ridiculous.
His athleticism's taken a bit of a decline, and
no, it was more of. I'm surprised the Heat didn't trade for him because literally he has no value. Like they could have gave up a second or something.
Literally.
I literally have no idea.
Because I'll let you guys in on it. The guy that ran Memphis's offense last year, so the season before this, is now with you guys. Ja wanted him fired because they don't really run. Miami doesn't run a ton of pick and roll.
That's right.
There are a lot of free flow offense, just drive, kick, quick decisions with the ball. And Ja's not really accustomed for that type of offense. He's more of like a pick and roll read kind of point guard. And he's a downhill attacker. So he likes having a screener on. So as soon as I saw that he was in Miami, I was like, yeah, there's no chance Ja ends up there again, playing in that same system that he asked the coach, who ran that, he asked the Grizzlies to fire him.
That's
unfortunately, yeah. Otherwise, it makes total sense other than that.
Yeah, That's fair.
I think Eric Spoelstra would be the coach to make it work if that was,
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he's only played in 20 games this year too, so we gotta see.
Yeah.
But his shooting
Injuries,
percentages are
too.
awful. He's shooting like 24% from three, 40% from the field. It's like it's not great. He's
Yeah,
averaging
his
19.
3-point shooting has been so like
Yeah, I mean,
out of like 1 for 6
and he's
games.
not available. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not available. I don't know, and who knows? Who knows if it's an actual injury or what it is that's keeping him out at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Jason, how you feeling about the Jazz's like
Well,
prospects into
y'all,
next year?
y'all just took Jaren Jackson from us.
That's what. I'm like,
what y'all got going on?
because there's nothing to talk about for this year. So how you feeling about for next year? You know,
well, I mean, like,
because I know you've had some bold predictions for the Jazz. You know,
I think they're gonna end up being the top 5 seed next year. I think that lineup's gonna be like super interesting going into next season. Keontae George. I don't know if they're gonna go into next season with Ace Bailey at the 2. I feel like that's what they're looking for in the draft, but there's a world they could. So you have Keontae, Ace, Laurie, Jaren, Walker. That's your 5.
I mean that's actually a good 5, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a really good 5. You still have Collier off the bench. You'll have whoever you draft this year off the bench. Cody Williams, who's turned into I think he's turned into a legit NBA player. He just needs to add some more weight, and he's barely 21, I believe. So
yeah, honestly, I think your top 5 take is not horrible for the year after.
I think they might progress real quickly.
I'm not saying you're wrong. For me, a little too. I think you're a play-in team next year.
They just need to fix their defense. I was actually looking among teams in the Western Conference, at least, they're 5th in offense. They score 117 a game. They just
that's good.
They just can't stop a soul. Which, I mean, it's been a problem for a couple years now. But I think that's where Cody Williams' development as a defender has helped. Getting Walker Kessler back in the middle will help a lot. Jaren Jackson has been a defensive player of the year. So, having those guys. Keontae George needs to do something about his defense. My one complaint about him this year. Worst defender in the league.
Yeah.
Worst. I think I saw his defensive box plus minus, and I think he literally has the worst defensive box plus minus in the league.
He's worse than Trae Young?
Yeah. Defensively, yes. Trae Young, I can at least get, he'll get in passing lanes.
That's not good.
He'll deflect balls. Keontae just...
Yeah. I'll be honest.
He doesn't get in passing lanes. He can't get over screens.
Yeah, that only makes me believe even more than it's not next year. It'll be the year after.
I think it will be next year still.
No, I don't.
I think they still have the rotation guys to make it work. And
I mean, I like Bryce Sensabaugh.
I like Sensabaugh off the bench as a microwave scorer. I'm curious to see what type of minutes he'll even get next year. I just think they need to back up big, and they'll be an interesting team in the West next year. But back on regarding of the tanking for us, it was always going to be like this just because of how the pick protection was set up with OKC.
Mm-hmm.
So after this year, I think as long as if our pick doesn't fall out of the top 8, I think it goes to a 2nd. So
right,
the tank will officially be over after this year, no matter what. And I think that's going to be real fun to see what we can see out of Will Hardy, especially because I'm biased here, but I think he's already a top 8 coach in the league. He's showing me a lot.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I guess.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know about that, but all right. We just had one more topic on the rundown. It's just Giannis. So it's more so the Bucks struggling on the year, and then maybe we could predict Giannis's destination or if he's just gonna stay.
Well,
we don't have to do that though. It's up to you guys.
Let's do it. No, if I remember correctly, so I went into last offseason saying this same thing. The Bucks just needed to hold out this year because I believe they open up 3 tradable firsts this offseason. So they have a way that they can upgrade the roster. Now, their dumb thing that they did by stretching and waiving Dame, adding just 20 mil of dead cap on their space for the next few years, is what's just going to handicap them. Also, I don't think they have a ton of intriguing trade pieces. I don't think they want to move Ryan Rollins, nor would I.
No, Ryan Rollins is cold, bro.
Yeah,
well, I would prefer to keep around if I was them. He's looked good for them, but they just
you got to see what pick they end up getting, because that's the thing. They're definitely gonna be in the lottery. So we just got to see where they end up. Because
their
they
picks
get a top pick.
Pelicans and Atlanta has. So
right, that's what I'm
basically
saying.
it's the best of those 2 picks.
So that's what I'm saying. So we got to see where they end up, because if they get a top guy, I think Giannis is staying for sure.
I wonder if Giannis would try to tell him to trade that pick for an impact player.
Like
imagine that. Think if they get a top 3 pick.
Okay, but who would move? What player? Who are we moving to play alongside Giannis? Because we did just see Dame try and come with Giannis, and theoretically, on paper that looked fantastic, like it was going to work out, and it really did. I mean, obviously the pieces around them weren't as Chris Middleton, took a step back.
Dame got hurt.
Obviously, and everything. I mean, yeah, Middleton got hurt. So I mean, it was just a bunch of stuff happened. But so I'm not, and they didn't have a Drew Holiday type on the team as well. That helped, Milwaukee.
I think New Orleans could be desperate for a pick, and I don't know. What if you go ask for Trey Murphy and something else?
That's not moving me enough if I'm Milwaukee.
I think Murphy helps them.
Yeah, but
I don't think that's the only move they pick. I'm not saying
a top 3 pick. If they could get a Darren Peterson or a Debanza or a Boozer, maybe, but I feel like I don't know. I don't think Trey Murphy equates. I don't think Trey Murphy's upside equates to a Devance's upside, or a Peterson's upside, especially with Ryan Rollins and Cam Thomas are I don't want to say Cam Thomas, but with the Ryan Rollins type, there's really nothing besides upside if they have a top 3 pick and them not taking the pick. Trey Murphy does not move me enough to be like, you know what, I don't want AJ Jabans.
I would ask for more than just Trey Murphy.
Yeah, but I don't see the Pelicans giving up that for
the number 3 pick.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Joe Dumars traded their first unprotected, so I can see him doing anything.
I don't know. I just don't see them making a move like that realistically.
I like me some trade. I want to throw this out there. I'm talking about New Orleans a little bit. DeJounte Murray's came back from his Achilles injury, and he's looked really good.
I haven't watched any Pelicans basketball, so
I don't blame you. I give them credit. They're still trying. Zion has been a fun watch this year. He's been mostly healthy. And Trey Murphy's been great, but I've been really intrigued about. I think the Pelicans are going to move off DeJounte this offseason. Any possible locations you guys haven't you could think of off the top of your head? Because I have a couple I'd like to throw out there, and I wonder how you guys would feel about them.
Let me hear what you're talking about, because there's a couple teams that need to.
Maybe the Jazz for Collier.
No, one of
Jasper
them actually
Collier, the
Milwaukee.
Rock out Milwaukee could work. The
I
Rockets
think
desperately need a point guard.
Rockets could work.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, Rockets are another one too.
Okay,
what the
Milwaukee
Rockets could do.
Rockets.
Minnesota. I think they're gonna look to move off Julius Randle this offseason.
Yeah, but are the Pels going to take him back?
I mean, you can always 3-team.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, all right. We can talk about
Like, I don't know how much value Dejounte exactly has.
That's true.
I don't know how much of his value he can rebuild, just in these next 20-ish games. But I think he could really help like one of these teams, that are kind of fringe outside, right outside that contender list that really could use it. Like even Miami, that's another place I really think he could
I'd
he fits
be happy
the
about
Heat.
that.
Like, he really fits the Heat well, and it's a big upgrade from Davion.
I'd be happy with that.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah.
Obviously, I think you probably have to move off of Norm at that point. Which,
Yeah.
depending on it, did you guys already extend him?
I don't know.
If you guys haven't extended him yet, I think at this point I probably wouldn't.
I think we did. I could be wrong.
You might be right. One last location. I have some intriguing with this. Toronto. I think he fits there. I don't like Quickly up there. Quickly also is on
Quickly
a 5-year, $175 deal. Which is that.
Wait, Quickly has a 5-year, 175 contract.
Yeah, that's what the Raptors gave him. That was it wasn't even the Knicks that gave him that. It was the Raptors that gave him that deal.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And then Podol's on a 4-year, $80 million deal.
Oh.
I'm not surprised about that. They drafted him.
Yeah, DeJounte to the Raptors to play with RJ Barrett, though. I mean,
I think they.
Brandon Ingram.
I like that.
If we could talk about the Raptors a little bit here, kind of outlook. They were dangling RJ Barrett at the trade deadline from a lot of reports.
I don't think he has any.
Damn, isn't he like a 20-point per game scorer?
He's like, it's weird with RJ.
Yeah.
Because he looks like he should be a better scorer than what he is. Because he can shoot decently. He gets downhill well. He can get to the free throw line at a good rate. There's something that just can't get him consistent. I don't know what it is. He just won't consistently put it together. He also shows that he should be a better defender than what he is. But he isn't a very good defender. So I think teams are just confused, like, what he really is in the league. Like, is he a 2 guard? Is he a forward? Like, where does he play? And I don't know. The Raptors were dangling him for Sabonis, from what I was reading. And if that's the case, I think this offseason. I mean, if you're the Pelicans, would you take RJ back for DeJounte? I like that.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Put RJ and Zion back together? Come on.
RJ, Zion.
Zion would probably
sign Cam Reddish.
I think it'd work a lot better.
Put the boys back together, man.
I'm bringing this up. Killian Hayes got a 2-year deal.
I saw it.
Oh, jeez.
Gang, dude. Come on. Light the beam, baby.
Killian Hayes for getting a deal, man. I can't believe teams keep buying into it.
Turn off the beam.
Great playmaker.
I can't believe he was on 2 10-days. He played 7 games. He wasn't good in like 4 of them.
Yeah, we just gonna have to.
I'll admit it right now. I've never been a Killian Hayes fan. Like I will say, I've been a Killian since he was drafted to Detroit. I said he was going to be
just can't really score.
He's just
never could put it together offensively.
Yeah,
he's just bro.
If the Lakers fell to the play-in, I think the Clippers would beat them in that 7-8 matchup.
I don't think the Lakers are gonna fall to
Yeah,
the
I
play.
don't
I don't think so. Yeah, that's not
But if
so
they
bad.
do, you got the Clippers over the Lakers?
Yeah. I guess if you want an actual hot take, I actually
No.
think Atlanta's. I think Atlanta's going to jump out of the play-in.
I mean, after you
That's
broke
valid.
down the Magic and Heat schedule, I honestly agree with you.
That's very valid.
No, I'm just not a believer in Toronto.
How could you
I'm
be? I
good on-
mean, I love Brandon Ingram, but he's their best player. Am I wrong?
No, he's their best player.
You can argue it between him and Scotty.
Scotty's great, but
But-
be
Yeah.
honest. That's not like a terrible
I'm
team,
not,
but
I'm not gonna argue with nobody if they say BI. I'd probably say BI as well.
I don't know.
okay.
My take. I mean, this isn't necessarily a take, but I definitely think, like, I really, really think the Cavs could come out of the East. Like,
Yeah.
I think that Harden might have his. I'd literally think this is his best shot. Is this year? Like,
Can I give you
the
their
best shot he's had?
for the conference finals right now?
Even, huh?
Can I give you the path to the conference finals for them as of right now?
Yeah, bro.
If the playoffs started today,
It's
they
the
have
Magic.
Orlando, and then it would probably be Detroit.
That's doable.
Yeah, I think that's
real
yeah,
doable, bro.
pretty yeah.
And realistically, Harden and Mitchell just have to outplay Cade Cunningham, and they're
Yeah.
going to win.
You want a real hot take? Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't know you were still going.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
You want a real hot take?
Sure.
I'll update this each at the play-in and then playoffs, and then I once the playoffs start, like not the play-in, once the playoffs start, this will be my final prediction for it. Finals prediction: Spurs Knicks.
Really?
I think the Spurs have the antidote for the Thunder. I think they could do it if they meet them in the Western Conference Finals, and I think the Knicks. I think they'll find a way to somehow they'll meet the Pistons in the conference finals. It'll be Knicks Pistons. They'll beat the Celtics in the second round. They'll beat the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll make the finals. And right now I got the Spurs in 6. Spurs 4-2.
Wemby's gonna have to show me he can score on them good defending wings in the playoffs.
Absolutely. That's why it's a hot take, man. That's why I didn't pick Thunder Celtics or something.
No, that's fair. And
They gotta play Minnesota and McDaniel.
Yeah, my sleeper.
Tough.
We didn't necessarily play. We didn't talk about the Minnesota too much. We don't gotta dive into them right now. But I definitely think that Anthony Edwards can come in there and make some noise. Man.
If he shows the hell up.
Like we were talking about the Lakers being matched up against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a bad matchup for anybody, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
Nobody can hold Anthony. Anthony Edwards has every move in the book that he needs to make. He can get to every spot that he needs to. He's still one of the most explosive players in the league. Bro is 24. Like,
No, it's wild.
like bro is our age running around doing that.
It's wild.
My only scare with Minnesota is that if Gobert's not on the floor, they just don't they don't defend.
Yeah.
Played much defense this year. Julius Randle.
What the good thing is, the only real like teams that if they're not defending, other teams really aren't. Like the Lakers have bad defensive tendencies.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The Nuggets aren't the greatest defensive team. The really only two like solid defensive teams coming out of the West are the Thunder and the Spurs.
No, 1,000%.
I'll throw Houston in there too.
I was gonna say the Rockets a little bit, but that's just because of their athletic. Sengun is like a huge wild card, man. Like if
in the
the
playoffs,
Rockets playing the Nuggets, Jokic is averaging 30.
which is the problem. I think Sengun's so schemable in the playoffs.
So that's the only thing. So I see what you're saying, but the only
I'm with
team
you on
that
this.
really,
I'm high on them.
yeah,
I
I
think
like the
they-
Timberwolves. I
Yeah.
like the
You
Timberwolves
can't count them out.
Like if we're not like obviously if we're top if it's not one of the top 2 teams, it's the Timberwolves coming out of the West.
Yeah.
They're still a contender to me.
No, I could see that.
I admit they've had like a lot of struggles this year, but I think their ceiling is still so high with Dante, Isles looked good. You know, he's starting to look comfortable. He had a really good game today, by the way.
No,
Yeah, he looked fantastic.
100%.
But it's their wild card's Julius Randle.
Yeah. Here's
Are you gonna if you get last year's playoff Julius Randle, we're going to the conference finals. If you're getting what these past 10 games, Julius Randle, probably you're out in the first round. You're probably gonna if he keeps playing like how he's been outside of today, the past 10 games, they're gonna go to the play-in.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Timberwolves, if the Timberwolves make it like if the Timberwolves play the Lakers, what they're slated to play right now, that's probably gonna be. They have no easy match. There's no easy matchups in the West.
Yeah,
So that's the thing. Like they're gonna have to grind. They're going 6 games every series, like regardless of
that's the big thing with the
what
West.
their matchup is.
It's such a
Pretty
cruel.
much every team except for maybe probably the top 2 in the first round. They're gonna be able to get a little bit of rest because they're only going 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's
I
good
mean,
point.
every
team has
contender.
a long way.
Yeah, every contender has a flaw this year. I mean, it's going to be really fun watching the playoffs. This has been Six Pack Sports Talk. Only half of us here for this is the basketball group. This has been your boy BDT.
Not everybody get back next week.
Hell yeah, this is Lil
Got
J.
to.
It's
Yes,
Mike
sir.
Rob saying peace out.
We out, man.